Welcome to the TFI Uncut podcast, where we're learning all about the competitors that competed in this year's event. We're going to be talking to everyone about what went into their films and a little bit more about the backstory of how they made it happen. So in this episode, we'll get straight into it. G'day and welcome back to another TFI Uncut podcast. Today we have Sarah and Keelan Travels. Now these guys need no introduction. I've had a scout across all of their socials and everything that you guys get up to is pretty spectacular. Let's go straight in. I would love to just learn a little bit more about you guys, where you've traveled with your whole camping kit. You've spoken on some other podcasts before. You've done a whole lot of four-wheel driving around the country. Tell us a little bit about everything that you guys get up to.
Rightio. So, my name's Keelan. This is Sarah. We travel full time, so that's our gig. We're very lucky to do what we do, and especially in Australia, because we are blessed with one of the best countries on earth. Well, absolutely, in my opinion, it's the best. But yeah, we just tow our caravan around, and we try to stay off grid as long as possible. And yes, we do a little bit of fishing, but we were pretty surprised when we got the call up to the TFI, because we're not. I wouldn't say we're a part of the top 10 fishers in Australia or the world or whatever. We're probably
we don't catch.
we're probably the top 1 millionth person. Yeah, I'd say that'd probably be the bracket we're in. So yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the call up that you got. Was it you said it was a bit of a surprise to you? So how did that all unfold?
Well, we got a message on Instagram, and I was like, I'd never actually heard of this before. So I was like to Keelan, I was like, oh, this like TFI thing's messaged us. He's like, get out of town, pass me the phone. And he's like, oh my God.
Just stoked levels through the roof.
Because I watched the previous years, and obviously you've got like Brooksy and stuff that won at the first year. Like I'm into fishing, like watching fishing. I've never been blessed with the absolute capabilities of everyone else. But I love having a crack and trying to catch stuff. And I think like my primary thing is surfing, but yeah, fishing's awesome. So I knew Brooksy and Maddie and they won it. And then, it was.
That was a pretty cool year too. I think a great way to start the TFI too and just get some eyeballs on it. And it was great, their campaign and the way that they sort of showed everything off. Do you think you'll do something similar when you're trying to get your votes and people on board? Or
yeah, to be honest, I think what we decided was we're not going to outfish anyone, because one of our equipment sucks. Like all I carry with me is a Burns Out 5000 Nasky Shimano reel, like a whiting rod. That's literally what I carry around Australia. And if I can't catch it on that, it's not going to be caught.
Yeah.
So going into the event, getting the call up in the desert, it was crazy. And like I said, after watching Brooksy and stuff, that first year.
Yeah, it's a high standard too.
Yeah, I've idolized them boys because they just go hard, and obviously they won it. And I've watched their YouTube since forever. So I knew that I was a bit blown out by the fact that we got invited to this fucking thing, because if you know these people that have been in it previous years, you sort of know the caliber of your shows in it.
Yep.
So we were so surprised.
I think I later saying no, because we were like, let's not embarrass ourselves.
Yeah, right. Well, honestly, I think, the reason why you got the call up, it's a testament to your social presence as well and your outgoing personality. So I wouldn't discredit yourself at all for getting the call up. You guys are very outgoing, and I think it shines through in your film and the preview that I've seen. So you guys had a 3-month window like all the other teams to fish and film and edit. How long did you actually spend out on the water and capturing your film?
Well,
Knocked it out pretty quick, hey?
Yeah.
We weren't sleeping at night. We were so scared, and we only had a period that we're on the Ningaloo for.
Yeah.
How long do you reckon?
So the Ningaloo up on Exmouth?
Yeah, Exmouth. So we were actually out there on the beach, because we were doing like month at a time stints on the beach. That's how we travel Australia. We just sit on a beach for a month and just surf and fish and stuff. And I'll get into what boat we have. And because we tow a caravan, we can't tow a boat. So when we got the call up, yes, like Sarah said, we weren't sleeping, because we knew the caliber and like the how prestigious this event is. And I'm not blowing smoke up anyone's ass, but like if you've watched the previous years, you just like, my heart dropped in excitement, but also in nervousness when we got the call up.
But that's how you know that you're pushing yourself and pushing your personal growth. When you're scared to do something, it really helps you step it up that next level. And I think this is a fantastic opportunity for a lot of people to then start going into the film narratives and start expanding their skill set within film and TV and changing it from just a typical YouTube episode. You go outside of the algorithm, you're creating something that's not necessarily just based for the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you tied in a bit of a different narrative for this piece and it wasn't just your standard kind of video that you'd normally produce?
100%. Yeah, we definitely respected. Yeah, like I think we filled up, I think we did 250 gigabytes of raw footage.
Yep.
So we almost did like a hard drive there. We sent our editor a 1 terabyte hard drive. It was almost full.
Wow.
So,
I had to cut that into 20 minutes. Poor fella.
and then we didn't know, because like obviously film, it's a lot more like fast paced. Like with YouTube videos, you can have like nice drone montage and stuff, but with this film, we wanted it to be really punchy, exciting. And that goes into like what we've decided to do, because it's quite dangerous. And we just overshot everything. We cooked camera equipment. It was crazy. But yeah, a lot more effort went into this than our YouTube videos.
Yeah. So out of curiosity, what did you film it on?
Sony
A7 IV.
Yeah.
Cool. That seems to be a running theme for a lot of the guys. I mean, that's I'm a Sony guy. I actually have a Sony A7 IV tattooed on the back of my car. So yeah, I didn't show you that later on for a couple of years. Yeah, no, I love Sony equipment, and I think they've stepped it up a notch, and it's fantastic for photo and video. So it just it fits across the board. What about drones? Did you use any other drone tech?
We got a mini, so not fancy.
Yeah. How do you find the landings on the water?
Oh,
So sketchy.
Yeah. I cut myself last week. I'm only just healing up. You can sort of see just on my fingers, but you sound
a big one.
Yeah, well, I actually don't have to get. I'm sure it's big. Yeah. No, my drone's probably a little bit bigger in size, but what happened was we're actually filming out on a dam and inland here in Queensland. I didn't realise how cold it was going to be.
Yeah.
And normally when you're doing your catch landings, you catch the drone and you turn it upside down so it shuts the engines off. Because my fingers are so cold, I overshot it up into the props and I couldn't even feel it because I couldn't feel my fingers. And then I looked down, I'm like, this is embarrassing. Yeah, I'm bleeding. I'm just pissing out blood whilst we're on set for another like 2-3 hours.
You put your fingers in the water, just burly up a bit.
Yeah, I did. But I don't think there were any sharks around in the fresh water. But it's definitely worth a shot. So do you feel like it was a bit of a pressure cooker to get your film done? And
at the start, before we sort of went out, because we knew that what we had to do was freaking like crazy. So we didn't have and our boat's a 2-meter rubber ducky, which people will learn once they watch the film. But that gives
that's insane filming on that.
Oh, and if anyone knows Exmouth, we get the strongest freaking winds in the country. Like it blows its tits off 99%.
Like that.
Yep.
Yeah. So when we had the event window open, we were like, we need to find our day and we need to capitalize because we might not get another shot at this.
Yeah.
3 months might turn into 2 days of filming.
Yeah.
And we just need to go and send
just the concept behind that. So, we're not going to talk too much about the target species, but I imagine it's something pretty epic. How big is this inflatable boat that you shot there?
It's probably literally smaller than what we're sitting
What?
now.
So they're talking like 10 spec.
It's straight off wish, man. It's straight off wish. But if I put my wingspan out, my arms, 1.8 meters.
Yeah, right.
I can touch the front of the boat and the back.
So you're there just on the beach, just blowing it up with your lungs?
Well, we've got a little...
cool.
Yeah.
It didn't break. You didn't have to...
Well, we popped it. We popped the boat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The first day we went
Is this in the film?
Yeah.
Wow. Right.
Yeah. So little story, I won't give too much away, but we went out to try to hunt something and get our confidence up because we are taking this 2-meter vessel deep sea. And when I'm talking deep sea, 300 meters plus, off the continental shelf.
Yeah.
And our mates are really into fishing too.
Yeah. And so you were using a master boat to get out there and using it as a tender, or you were out, you were taking it the whole way out,
punching through the reef over the breaking wave.
That is insane. At least you got a little bit of a cushion.
Yeah, mate. Oh no, I ended up snapping the seat.
Wow.
We had to get air to get through some of these waves and stuff.
And to try and get it up on the plane, I have to
sit up the front.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid too, I had one, I actually ended up flipping it. But then after that, after I rescued it, I had a packet of bricks that would sit up the front.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we had to punch out and we popped the boat. We went out to about, I think we was fishing 100 meters deep.
Yep.
So that's
probably pretty deep, or that's pretty far out or enough to get to that
7-8K.
Yeah.
So I'm not too sure nautical miles. I'm a surfer, so I don't know nautical miles that well. But we popped it out there and we had to get in or it goes flat. And it was one of the scariest things that we ever did because there's so many sharks around.
Totally.
And we actually, the fish that we're onto when we popped the boat, there was about 4 or 5 big sharks under the boat. And
do you know what species of shark they were?
They could have been duskies or bronzies or
Because the bronzies just take everything up there, don't they?
Yeah, they weren't tigers. I know they weren't tigers. And that was probably the most predominant species up in Essie. But, and it wasn't a great white. But, it probably was a great white. Big sharks, bigger than the boat anyway. So it was...
Yeah, but that's not hard to be bigger than the boat.
Yeah.
it doesn't take much.
So fucking scary.
Yeah. So who helped you with your film? Did you have a crew? You mentioned
It's Brad and Hayley. They travel around as well. They've got a YouTube channel, Our Australia Trip. So we got them on board. Well, like they know how to work drones, cameras, and they've got inflatables too. But theirs is like twice the size.
So were they filming from another inflatable one? Yeah. That's just so funny because normally you'd have like, you know, your master vessel as a backup. So if anything went wrong, then you could, you know, jump onto that and get back to safety. But like you're full on cowboy at this point of the scene.
We look back on it.
It's stupid, but we did it because of the film. Like I said, we couldn't outfish our competitors. Like we're not going out and catching like 100 GTs and like getting these crazy eat shots, you know. With the
or the paddleboard getting towed around.
Yeah, we're not. We can't do that. We don't have one. We don't have the equipment. We don't have the know-how. So we just had to work with what we had. And Brad and Hayley were on the beach with us when we got the call up.
Yep.
And then we just literally turned to them and said, like, over the gear and said,
yeah, can we
come shoot this? Yeah.
That's awesome. So whereabouts are they now?
They're actually on the East Coast.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So we kind of split up and then, you're going to...
But their boat broke down on the way out to catch fish.
Wow.
So they're our support vessel. They have like a shonky old Merc. And like whoever serviced it, they didn't even tighten stuff up inside the rocker cover. So like,
wow,
it broke down on the way out.
That's interesting because like the Pro XSs and the Mercuries are kind of the influencers motor of choice nowadays. They're that reliable.
Yeah.
So, I've got a V8 225 and that hasn't skipped a beat in 900 hours, but you still hear those stories of those old dusky things that have been sitting in a boatyard and haven't had enough love.
Yeah.
And just, it just adds to the intensity of your film. All of these things that could go.
Yeah, I know. We were thinking, what in the world? Like, is this a sign? Maybe we should go out.
Yeah, we should discuss this, but it sounds like you pushed through. So what can we expect? What are some of the, without giving away too many visuals, what happened? What are some of the challenges that you did face?
So first, like the mental challenge of like knowing that the plan is to take this 2-meter vessel out that far. That was the first thing. And like actually, because a lot of the times we would like just see a day and be like, nah, it's too windy, it's not the day. But like we were just running out of days, so we had to go out. So the day we chose was not good.
Yeah.
Like the swell was huge. And like we're coming down the swell lines on this little rubber ducky and Keelan's like growing up in the ocean. I'm like little.
So you're not seeing the horizon in between? Yeah. That's scary. When
coming down and I'm like, oh my God, it's going to break. And he's just like, Sarah, it's not going to break. Like we're so deep right now. It's just so scary. You're just coming down this swell line.
Yeah, our filmer, Brad, and he was like, man, you were disappearing for 30 seconds at a time between the lands. So he was like, because of the target species we're going for. And by the way, the target species is something that people chase their whole lives.
Yeah.
So we were out 200, 300 meters deep and I was disappearing for like 30 seconds at a time and then popping back up. And Brad's like, where are you? Like, he was trying to talk to us on the two-way, like, where are you guys all right? Because I can't see you and see you at all 50 meters away.
Yeah, right. So, that's just so intense.
Yeah.
So obviously we're competing for some serious money with the TFI. And you've had that remuneration of $5,000 for competing, and a massive thank you as well to BCF for sponsoring this event. The BCF TFI each year, it's so great to have them as a sponsor. What would you do if you were to win that $70K? How would you guys spend it? Would you be investing it into camera gear? Would you be buying something other than a Team U boat?
I like Team U boat. Have you seen the Team U?
No, I don't want to. Get out of there. No,
I'm off topic.
Oh, sorry. We've been buying some lures off Team U too, and they're actually not bad, but obviously not BCF quality.
No, there's perfect
BCF. I'll give up. Yeah, back to the question, I guess.
Yeah, well, we did think about getting like a proper boat, but we don't have like anything to our name. We literally have a car and a caravan. So like maybe we're at the age, like we could probably put that towards a block, on deposit or something.
It'll be life-changing.
But if you could get some land up there around that area too.
Yeah, it's expensive. 70 grand probably wouldn't do it, but that would put us in the position where we actually can. Yeah, be life-changing for us.
Yep.
We're not from money or anything, so that amount of money, like literally,
it's a lot of
like saying that we are super big underdogs in this thing. Like we're not expecting to place. We just took this opportunity, had a crack, did the best we could, and after seeing someone else, like other people's teasers and stuff, like we've got to, it's going to be a hard ask to place or whatever. So huge respect to the other competitors.
Yeah, that's it. So if you could pick any other, or if there was any other team that you're batting for, who do you reckon's got a pretty good solid shot at this?
I love the thought of Ricky Mack. Like I've been following his Instagram for so long, and I just typical Ricky style swearing, but I fucking love his stuff because he's out there doing different things, and you can tell he's really passionate too.
Yeah.
So I reckon his film's going to be really different, and because I'm a surfer, like obviously coffee. Like I watched his film last year and that was amazing.
Yep.
I think Sarah's pretty keen to see the girls. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having a chat to the girls too and just seeing how they went down and how everything unfolded there. I think there's a bit of goss there for us as well.
Really?
Yeah, you have to stand by for the future episode and make sure that you're across it.
Yeah.
And that's also a fantastic call to action. Make sure that you guys save this podcast on Spotify and on Apple Music and subscribe to the YouTube channel and watch them over at thefilminvitational.com because that's the first place that you're going to see all of these unfold. So I guess if we were going to hype up your film, what would you say to encourage people to watch and give you a vote?
Well, the film's called Don't Try This at Home. So they sums it up really, but we wouldn't recommend people doing what we did.
Also shows that you don't need the best and biggest equipment to go and catch amazing fish.
Our engine was $2,000. We bought a brand newie because we didn't want to work on it. That was the most money we spent on on the setup, and then the boat was $1,000. And like I said, it's pretty much off Temu from China somewhere.
And it was like $300 combo or something.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't have the best equipment, but like what we did was just amazing.
That's a testament. You guys gave it a solid shot.
Yeah. I think you just got to send it to and just, I don't know, like, this is saying like we have two lives and your second one starts when you realize you only have one. Yeah. That's sort of what we live off. Like, you've just got to live it because everyone's in their own head these days and they find 100 reasons to go and do something. Yeah. But for us, the day that we committed and went out in that massive swell, which I'll talk about a different story in a minute, but the day we did that, it was just so invigorating, and to catch these massive fish in a tiny boat, like the fish we caught are bigger than the boat.
That's unreal.
Like,
that's just so cool. It's such a cool concept.
Even all the bycatch that we caught was bigger than the boat.
Yeah.
So like Sarah said, you don't need the flashiest gear. And some of the stuff that's not going to make the film, but happened, like we almost got taken out on the way in trying to get inside the reef because we had probably a 15 kilo, 20 kilo dolphin fish on board.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big dolly.
Sarah landed a huge dolly.
That's the biggest fish I've ever caught.
Yeah. It was massive. It fed about 8 people.
Wow. That's cool.
But just having that little bit extra weight in it, in the boat, we couldn't get it up on the plane on the way in, and we had to punch through the breakers, and a wave was right on our bow pushing us, and we almost lost all the camera gear that we had, all these SD cards in.
We literally had everything in the dry bag, had put it on our back, ready to go over.
Yeah, that's so hectic. I mean, those SSDs sometimes can be pretty versatile. Like I've had them drop in the water before, and then I'm just airing them out in some rice, and I'm just like, please work. Trying not to make sure that there's a little can of rice going into your little SD cards. And somehow I've recovered footage after it's been in the water.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They're pretty resilient, but there's nothing you can do. Those Sony cameras are a little bit waterproof.
Right.
They've just got a bit of a dust cover as well, but as soon as that drops in the drink, you're done for.
Well, that's what we're thinking. We're like, geez, we've just gone out and done this epic stuff and we're going to come in and get taken out by a wave and lose everything. No one's going to believe us.
It was mental. If we had lost the footage, no one would have believed what we actually achieved in the film because what we went out and did. To be honest, I haven't seen anything like it on the internet.
Yeah. And then imagine that you're just sitting on the beach and your whole film is just telling the story.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it was going to be like. Yeah. Honestly, it was so touch and go. We went out, had this huge adrenaline rush, massive climax, and then coming back in, we almost like my asshole was like that.
Yeah.
We couldn't outrun this thing. We only have a 6 horsepower. So
I've got a nun on Christmas, mate. That's crazy. So you said something pretty funny earlier about the call up that you got. Obviously, you were up in Exmouth. What was that statement that you said throughout your film again?
Oh, we thought that they meant to send the invitation to Brody Moss because he's in Exmouth, and we were going to say we stole it out of his letterbox because we could never get invited from this, so we always sort of keyed ourselves in as the Brody Moss from Wish. I know I look nothing like him. It's like a gun at everything. Super entertaining as well, creator. Everyone, idolises that bloke. He's amazing. So
he's one of the OGs in the scene across Australia.
Yeah.
It's just done wonders for the industry.
From RCA.
And I guess, something that he's done is he's allowed people to see that you can make a living from doing all of this online and traveling around. So I'd like to know a little bit more about how you guys can afford to do what you do. You're living on the road, living by a beach a month at a time. That's pretty spectacular. Yeah. How the heck do you afford it?
Our main thing is YouTube now, which is crazy to say. When we took off, we literally just had enough money to go around Australia for a year.
Yep.
And then we got about 7 months in and we were just doing the YouTube thing on the side as a bit of a hobby to document our travels. And then we started to get a bit of income from it. And we're like, oh shit, like we can probably do this full time.
Yeah.
So,
and then you play your cards right too. You can write everything off on tax.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not watching. Yeah, you can. There's a lot of things you can claim, mate. And
Our life is a tax deduction.
the only thing you can't claim is alcohol, essentially.
Yeah.
Things around
Unless it's
content.
this meeting, right?
Well, no, I've tried, and our accountant says no, but that's fine. If that's the only thing we can't claim, that's fine. But yeah, pretty much YouTube. And we sort of did 3 years without really making much money. But now it's sort of like Sarah said, it's our full-time job. And you don't do it for the money anyway. Like, we just started it. Essentially, we started this whole thing not to have it as our job, but just to document what we were doing.
Yeah.
So we were back.
Yeah. And like when we have kids, to show them like, look what we did when we were in our 20s.
Yeah.
That's great. How old are you guys?
I'm 29.
Wow.
She's old. I'm 28.
Trigger.
Yeah, cool. Oh, young bucks. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've just hit the big 3-0, so I'm feeling
I did just, right,
yeah.
It's ready.
Feeling jaded.
Yeah,
But,
right.
just back onto that as well. So you've mentioned you're not the most keen anglers, but it's obviously a big part of being on the road. So how much do you rely on fishing, even just to get some meals together when you are sort of traveling around?
It's cheap to eat, live off the ocean and eat what you catch. So that's one thing. You save a lot of money.
Especially when you're in Exmouth, like the prices are so high for meat and stuff. So like
it's a fair way
being able to go off grid for 4 weeks and like have no meat in the freezer, you can just like live off what you catch.
It's so good. But also, we actually fish probably more than most average anglers that love like fish every weekend, because we're living on the road. We're always next to an ocean. Like, I'm fishing every second day, but for us, it doesn't seem like we're doing it heaps because like it's just your life.
Yeah, it's just a part.
Yeah.
Routine. Yeah.
So we were catching like big tailor at Red Bluff. Like, I literally love catching it. I'll get excited catching a freaking herring, or what do they call them over here? Herring's like a Tommy.
Oh, I wouldn't have a clue.
Oh, anyway.
Shit fish.
Anyway. But yeah, like, I literally get excited catching anything.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I get pretty excited when I'm out and about and I just even find some live bait because it means I can grade it to some bigger fish.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because that can make or break your day. If you're going offshore and you're targeting some bigger fish, if you can't find your live bait, you just might as well go home.
You should see me throw a cast net. It's fucking fun. I can try to cast. Sometimes it goes over my head. Sometimes it goes on the fair.
From Timu? Or
Yeah, probably. No, it's a BCF one, mate.
Oh, perfect. All right, there you go. There's another plug. Fantastic work. Well, it's been incredible talking to you guys. Is there anything that you'd like to convey to these guys about your film, try and get some boats on board? What would you say to anybody that hasn't watched it, is curious about jumping onto the filminvitational.com, getting that access pass specifically to watch you guys? Why is it worth it?
I can say, I'll look down the camera. I can say, if you spend the $4 or whatever it is to watch the films, we will not waste your fucking time. It's going to be entertaining as shit. And yeah, trust me, it's not going to be a waste of money. Like, we'll make sure you're entertained. Trust me, well and truly. So
You went to do?
yeah, spend the $4. Hopefully, we can sort of wave the flag for the people that might not necessarily have the 6 meter glass boat. Obviously, we've got a 2 meter rubber ducky. But like I said, you don't have to have the flashes gear. So I guess we're waving the flag for the people that just love having a crack.
Yeah.
We're serious underdogs, but I think what we've produced is unlike anything else. And yeah, I cannot wait.
It was fun.
And I'm sick of keeping my mouth shut.
Yeah.
I just want to blurt it out and tell people, hey.
Well, it's how long now, and you can start spilling the beans. Voting opens up in, a week's time, I think. And then it's go time for 3 weeks, and we'll find out next month who takes the prize money. And thank you again very much for competing this year with the BCF TFI. We really appreciate you guys being a part of it, and thank you so much for coming in too. So
That's
Thanks
right.
for having us.
And if you ever see me on the beach fishing, don't come up to me and say, have you caught anything, mate? And look in my bucket, because it'll be fucking empty. So
Unless it's me fishing.
Oh, yeah. So you're an avid member of the FAFC. What's that? The fuck all fishing.
yeah. Oh, I'm the number one member, right? I've been there for years.
That's awesome. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, thanks for coming on board. Really enjoyed chatting to you guys.
Yeah, cheers.
Appreciate it.